speaking?
Yeah.
Okay, so you
Awesome.
just have to turn it on, and then it's good. It's already recording.
Is it on?
Yep, once you push it up, it's on.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love using these.
All right, Joe, you want to come down here? Joe, you want to get down? You're the C, Joey, you want to come down? All right, good, good. All right, yep, you can move up as the ball comes up. Here comes the rotation now, so you want to see it. Bob, you want to do your visible count on the throw-in just as well as on the transition into the front court. Yep, step back, good. Right. As officials, you want to try and use one-arm mechanics when you can. So if you signal directionally, make sure you go up with that one arm. Give the signal with the same arm, and then you can do your visible count in transition with the same arm. Right. As a crew, you want to stay engaged. Do not leave the court, the front court, until the ball actually changes possession. At that point, then you can all go as a crew into the next front court stage. As the trail official, you want your trail to be right about the 28-foot mark so that he's engaged in the play and low enough to help out with any possible rebounding action. Good patient whistle, Kevin, on the held ball. Everybody freezes. As soon as the whistle blows, the non-calling officials freeze for a second. Make sure there's nothing happening on dead ball. Joe, you want to be a little bit lower as the trail official. Again, get to that 28-foot mark and stay there. And then drop down just like the C should on a shot attempt. You don't want to leave the lead official all by himself when it comes to rebounding action. All right, good. Yep. All right. Good patient whistle. Let the play finish. Better to come in, later. Again, as the trail official on a free throw, as soon as the free throw goes up, the trail official needs to step down as well. If there's an offensive rebound, the trail official, by stepping down, is still engaged in the play. And if there is the offensive rebound, then all three officials are still in the front court for another possession. That's a good call, Joe, on the body, on the blocking foul. What will sell that call and also give you a clear angle is, again, if you step down and get lower. The 28-foot mark is just a little bit above the top of the key, so as you're further down, your angles will improve. You want to continue to see space between the defender and the ball handler. Bob had a solid call as the lead on that play. As the play comes towards the C on the other side, the C might be able to get a look at it as well. If there is a double whistle, that's probably as good a play as any for a double whistle. Any double whistle, though, should come as a secondary. The primary official has the first whistle, and the secondary official would get a double whistle on that, but just maybe a tenth of a second after the first whistle. One thing I like to tell all of the officials is make sure you use your outside arm on your visible counts, and by that I mean the arm that's closest to the scorer's table. All right, we've got a timeout here. And the crew gets together, talk about anything that they see. This is the first time that they work together. They definitely want to be sure that they're all on the same page, that they're consistent with what they're calling, that their rotations are clean. All right, what are you seeing so far? Anything off ball? Any hand checks that we might miss?
The rear's getting close to legal screens on that end.
Okay. All right. Remember, your screeners have to stay in their shoulder frame of their body. All right. If they get a little bit of this as the guy goes by, or a little bit of an arm, those are good to get early in the game. Last thing you want to do is get to a situation where the first illegal screen you call is with 4 minutes left in the game, because odds are that's been going on the whole time. All right, but otherwise it's good. One of the points I've been making continually is, in order to stay engaged on the play, the outside officials want to step down. You'll have a good angle if you just take that extra one step as a C. The trail may have to take a couple steps down, and nobody needs to leave until there's actual change of possession. Because if there's an offensive rebound and you have your C and your trail both going up the court already, the lead's left by himself. All right. Good mechanics now coming out of the timeout. Make sure you have 5-on-5. The official administering, it looks like a free throw here, but same thing. You want to make sure you've got 5-on-5. You have the right shooter at the free throw line. As a C on a free throw, Kevin, as soon as the shooter releases the try, you can take a step down then. So you're watching the two players opposite you on the higher lane spaces. Yep. That was a good illegal screen call right there. Good solid call. Getting it early again, setting a good message for the players. Joe is the trail official. You want to make sure that you stay behind the ball. So as the trail, you want to trail the play. Okay, good. Now you can drop down. You can go further, right about top of the key. And you'll see how your angle improves as you keep moving with the ball. If you get too high, you tend to get straight line. It's also a great experience for officials to have the opportunity to deal with regular varsity head coaches. Building your people skills in the summer will certainly help pay off for you when the regular season rolls around. Right. Again, you want your rebounding fouls to come from the trail and the center official. The only time the lead gets involved on a rebounding foul is if he sees a player coming, blowing towards him, then you know he got pushed from behind. But typically the lead or the trail and the center official get the rebounding fouls. Good job by Bob right there on the foul on the inbound play. It's unlikely that the thrower will violate or the defender on the thrower will commit either an intentional or a technical foul by making contact with the ball or the player. So the administering official has the opportunity to watch the action off ball as players are coming to him to complete the inbound. Good. Yep. Good job, Joe, stepping inside out to get an angle. If you see the player's number on his back, then you're straight line. So you want to move to improve in those situations. Make sure you have a clear view of space between the defender and the ball handler. You see their hands, you see a knee come out, anything that might take away freedom of movement. There's good sequence there with no call. We want to get a visible count on a ball handler if the defender is in fact legally established and within 6 feet of the ball handler. That rule is set up to make sure that there's no advantage gained by the ball handler just for dribbling for sake. If a defender's within 6 feet, you want to make sure that you don't take that away from him because that's a rule. You want to get a visible count going on that. Right, good, Bob. Yep, that's what you want to do. Give the play a second or so to settle down, and then once there's 6 feet or less of an area defensively, get your visible count going. If you get a chance to, Kevin, take a look at that travel again. I'm not sure that it was. I'm not saying that it wasn't, but on a play like that, you want to watch the ball handler or the player waist up. A travel call in the post should come from the trail official. His job, once the ball gets that deep into the post, is to watch the feet of the ball handler. The lead is focusing on waist up for contact. Again, we want to emphasize that on a shot attempt, the outside officials, trail and center, take that step or two down towards the end line. Make sure you have and maintain an angle that will allow you to officiate rebounding action. On the play I just saw, a player on white got up in the air and tipped the ball back to one of his teammates, but I'm not certain that he didn't do something illegal as a result of being in the air and over the top of one of the players, the peer players. So answer that question as an official for yourself to make sure that that rebounding effort isn't illegal. All right, get your visible count going. Now with the dribble, you should be switching hands already. The players and the coaches will appreciate the fact if you do give that visible count. Right. Joe, on that three-point attempt, you're almost at the division line, so you're too high as the trail. Regardless of your position on the floor, you want to make sure that your angle still includes the players in your primary and hopefully all 10 of the players if you're up on top. The move to improve philosophy is based on the fact that peripherally you want to have as much of a vision of everybody as you can. In case one of your partners is screened out or gets blocked by player movement, by having good position on the floor, you can pick up a call as a secondary official. I always like to see an aggressive center official. And by that I mean someone who doesn't just plant themselves at the free throw line extended. Yep, Kevin's done a nice job right here of stepping down. He may even want to take a step further towards the baseline so that he's got that clear open angle. Right? Yep, Kevin, you'll want to put a second whistle on a sub there so that he knows that he's not going to inbound yet until your hand is completely down. Yep, good job. It's absolutely imperative that as an official on an airborne shooter, we get that shooter to the ground safely. Kevin did a great job right there in a three-point try, staying with it until the shooter was clearly on the ground. Anything after that would be a foul after the shot. Right, good signal by Bob right there. No question that the ball was tipped, but you still want to illustrate that for both teams. All right, there you just saw a play where two players both going for a rebound, one in front of the other, and the question there is, did we have illegal contact? Because now you've got the De Pere coach barking away at Bob because he felt that there was illegal contact made on the rebound try. Again, as I said, if we're dropping down enough steps to give ourselves an angle on rebounding, we can clearly see and then respond to the coach by indicating whether there was space between them or, in fact, the contact wasn't enough to warrant a foul. That was a good no call right there by Kevin. The offensive player on his spin move initiated contact into a defender. Yep, that's a good call by Joe. Good job of officiating at the C. On a drive coming off the baseline as a C official, you might want to take a step or two onto the court to maintain that angle.
Onto the court?
Yes. Yeah, what Joe just did there is, as the drive comes along the baseline, you can actually take a step or two to maintain your angle.
Okay.
If you stay too far off on the sideline, that drive now goes to the basket. You may just see the defender's back. So by taking a couple steps onto the floor, you can still see space if it's there, or if the defender is clearly beaten. A blocking foul becomes much easier once the offensive player, the ball handler, gets his head and shoulders past the defender. At that point, the defender's legally beaten and likely will commit a blocking foul as a way to catch up to that ball handler. As the ball comes up the floor, Kevin, you want to focus on your primary. Trust your partner that he's going to take care of the ball as the trail, but you want to make sure you stay focused on all your players. And there's the half. Now as we come out, we want to make sure that we have 5-on-5. All officials are looking at the administrator of the throw-in. We're ready to go. The chop starts.
Good for a young guy, isn't he? Yeah, Broeckel did a good job.
Yeah. Yep, good, Kevin. Yep. You can almost get right to the top of the key as the trail, because then you're engaged. Yep, good. Yep. All right, stay in. All right, once it changes possession, then you can go. All right, Joe, you don't want to follow the ball though. You want to follow the players as a competitive matchup. All right, it's a good call. All right. Yep. Good communication by the crew. Joe stays on the foul and the body contact. He doesn't know if the ball went in or not. It's good to ask your partner for help in that situation. Good. Right, stay with the play, Kevin, because it started in your primary, then on the other end. Good, good. Oh. Good, good. Yep, marking the 3 is sometimes confusing for officials. One thing you want to remember is as a C, you won't have to mark it until it's to the right of the free throw line as the C. It's got to be on your side of the free throw line. Right. It's a good call by Joe as the trail. The play started in his primary. But again, as the drive starts towards the basket, you want to make sure you drop down and follow the play with a couple steps toward the end line. You can sell your call and also maintain your angle in case the play is a tip or something legal, where in that case, though, you saw the foul. Oh, good move. Good step up, good under. Okay. Yep. Bob, you can get all the way to about the top of the key. Yep. And you're still in a real good spot because you can see between. Now it's in Joe's primary. You stay here. Watch your off ball right here in your area. Good. Good rotation by Kevin. Good. Yep. Again, I go back to my point before where it's good to have varsity head coaches in this situation. Because again, it's a great way for officials, and I'm guessing Kevin's a young official, to develop those kind of people skills, to be able to use rules-based language to explain your call. Good no call. That's a good no call. The shooter initiated the contact. That was a good no call. a good call by Bob there. The secondary defender had established legal guarding position. The ball handler, as he turned the corner, got out of control and ran over a legally established defender. Good, solid call. A good mechanic change right there between Kevin and Bob as well. The thing to remember too with your mechanics, as a high school official, we don't want to use the one finger when we're counting. I see that Kevin does that. You'll see college officials and NBA officials do it, but in high school, you want to use 2 fingers or all 4 fingers for your visible counts. Stay away from the one finger. People get confused and then think you're pointing at something or someone. One of the responsibilities of an official too is to make sure you let the player know when they ask what they've done. As officials, we want to make sure that we educate the players so that they learn from what illegal or legal contact might be in a given situation. And they appreciate that as well. Watch your screeners. They can use their hands to protect their upper torso, but they can't extend them to create space for either themselves or for their teammate. Maintain the shoulder frame width of the body and make sure that the screener isn't extending beyond that. The pure player, the ball handler, just lost the ball, and a good portion of that was due to the contact by the defender right there. If the defender gets his shoulder and upper body into a ball handler and moves forward, he's now given up his legal guarding position. So you've got to get that foul. That is a foul. It's easy in summer to kind of let mechanics be a little more lax, but this is also where you might develop some bad habits. So when the ball is knocked out of bounds, make sure you use the regular stop clock mechanic. Get your outside arm up in the air, and then use your other arm, actually use the same arm, to indicate the direction that the ball will be going. But be sure to use your stop clock mechanic. Don't just point where the ball is supposed to go. Good, good. As everybody starts to move down with the ball, everybody's in good position. Right. You can get a little lower yet, Kevin. Yep. All right, good. Yep, stay there, yep. Right. Yeah, the hand check became a point of emphasis a couple of years ago already, And then when they clarified exactly what a foul is on Rule 10.6.12, the hand check has become a little bit more prevalent. And it's good to see it called too. It's a great preventative measure to make sure that players don't get beyond a hand on a player. Don't start using two hands. Don't start putting an arm bar, all those kind of things. Okay, yep, good job by Bob there to stay in the C. Even with the rotation, you still don't want to take yourself out of on-ball coverage. It's a good travel call, Joe. But again, I want to go back to mechanics. Make sure you get your arm up to stop the clock. Then you can go ahead with your violation signal and giving the direction to where the ball will be going and also the spot where the ball will be coming in for your partner. You want to follow that process all the way through. We want to make sure that the new lead going down the court in transition is always looking behind him. If there's a tipped ball and the trail doesn't see it, the new lead, by looking behind him, still has a good look at the sideline and can help on that play if the trail doesn't see a tip ball or a ball that's thrown away. Be patient with your whistle. Yep, good effort, good effort. Good job, Kevin. That's good. You want to be aggressive as the outside official. Doesn't hurt to get down. Yep, good. Follow the play in. All right, now you have a change of possession. Yep, that's a great job there, Kevin. Yep, good, Bob. You can even step down a little further if you want to. Then you can see clearly through the lane. Yep, good. Good. Yep, stay there because that's a good look. Yep, good. You can see the screeners. Yep. Stay there because you've got. Yep. In that situation, you might have even had a whistle right there because in Kevin's case, he's got a call across the lane. That's your primary, that side of the lane. So you have a good look at it to see that upper body or arm-to-arm contact. As a crew, we want to make sure we give the C every opportunity to officiate his primary. The philosophy for a long time has always been that if your C has a good game, the crew has a good game. So we want to make sure we give the C every opportunity to officiate his primary. And it's also the responsibility of the C to make sure he goes and gets the calls in his primary. Good job there, Joe. Good job on the hand check. Once they put that hand or arm on that ball handler and it stays on there, go get that call. The game will be cleaner. It'll certainly help you down the stretch. That's a good call. That's a very good call. The ball handler might get frustrated because the defender is getting into his space. If he tips the ball, that's not a foul. Unless the defender creates illegal contact in that situation, there's nothing wrong with getting close as a legal guarding position. The ball handler then responds by sticking an elbow or a forearm into the defender. That's a good call by Bob. Another good solid call, Kevin. The defender is legally beat as the ball handler gets his head and shoulders past him. So the defender resorts to putting his body on him as a means to take away his freedom of movement. I give this crew a lot of credit because these two head coaches, Brian Winchester DePere and Joe Rux of Brookfield East, will certainly make life interesting for the officials. They ask questions, they make a lot of comments. They're both exceptional coaches, very successful. And I think these officials have done a very credible job of responding, answering, and then dealing with whatever these coaches have put on them. College officials can get away with just pointing as far as a directional on a ball going out of bounds. But again, use your mechanics. Stop the clock. Give your directional a second or so afterward. Bob, we just had a major collision down in the post. In your primary, if somebody hits the ground, unless he flopped incredibly, we might want to get a whistle on that. Again, from my angle, I couldn't see it. You had a far better look at it than I did. But those are the kind of calls that will certainly get the coach up in arms, or no calls in this case.
How are we doing here?
Good. How are you?
Good. Except I looked at the schedule and I have the last game at 9 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, you and me both.
Fuck me.
You and me both. Ooh, that's it. That's a good call. That's a good call. The ball handler didn't stay vertical. Move the shoulder to create space. That's a good call. Those are the kind of plays where you want to clip that on film and give that to young or inexperienced officials as a way to learn about verticality on both ends, by the defender and by the offensive player. Minimize the contact by the defender. All right, Bob, you've got to see that. A player for White was setting a legal screen, and a defender, 35 black, just blew through a screener. And of course, you're going to see the White head coach, and justifiably so, getting upset. You don't want to be so focused on the ball that you don't see exactly or entirely what's happening in your primary. In the regular season, those are the kind of plays on film that will make life difficult for an official. Good. Right. Technically, that play started in Joe's primary. The NFHS mechanic allows or wants the trail on a drive to the basket that starts in his primary to make that call. I would have an easier time with it if Joe had followed the play all the way to the basket. By not getting there, though, that's a play that Kevin should be officiating. It just looks better to everyone if the lead makes that call on a shot right under the basket. Clearly a foul, no problem with the call. But again, and it was right call by Joe. But in that case, you might want to give way to the lead, let him have first crack at that call, and if he doesn't make it, you can come in late. Again, having a patient whistle, you can come in late. Right, you want to make sure you officiate till the horn sounds. Right? Yep. And nothing wrong with calling the game before the horn sounds, because nothing good ever happens when both teams have given up